To the You Don't Know Me Yet podcast network.
Hey, you are tuned in to Two Gems and a Mic with hosts Tanisha the Diva Mahomes and Linda L.D. Dorsey. Just know, if we talking about it, you need to hear about it. Unwind and enjoy. Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Two Gems and a Mic. I'm one of your hosts, LD, along with my girl Tanisha, the Diva Mahomes. What's up, Nisha?
Hey, what's going on?
All right, as y'all can see, we got two special guests with us. We got Pat Mahomes Sr., aka Silky P, and Darren Smith. Welcome.
Thank you so much for having us.
Of course,
Yep.
of course.
Always a pleasure.
All right, we're gonna jump right into it, right? I know your time is precious. First of all, I want to say congratulations, Pat, and Tanisha. Congratulations to y'all. Darren, congratulations. You cover them. I'm gonna congratulate myself because I'm connected. So we excited about this Super Bowl. Pat, I know you've been talking all day long. So like I said, we just gonna jump into it. But I want to start off with the new head coaches. And I'm gonna call them out. Y'all tell me if you think the team made the right choice. We got Dan Quinn going to the Commanders. I'll start with you, Darren.
No.
All right. Tell me why.
Thought they should have went with an offensive coach. I thought Eric Bieniemy would have been a good choice and it would have been a good selection because I think the city would have embraced it. The culture and the people, fans of the Commanders would have embraced it. And you bring in a head coach whose last game he gave up 48 points in a playoff game. I'm not exactly sure that's going to bring a lot of enthusiasm to season ticket holders.
Okay. Pat, what you think about that pick?
Well, I'm not sure. I mean, if Bieniemy is still the offensive coordinator there, it may be a fit that could work. Being if Dan can get the defense to perform like Dallas did most of the year. I know the last game was kind of an outlier, and it looked ugly. But if you can get, I think they can do some things. They get another quarterback in, and maybe Bieniemy gets to work with him. He gets one of those athletic guys like Penix or Jaden Davis from LSU, or one of those guys that is mobile. He may be able to work with him, and if he can show up the other side of the ball, then it should be a good mix.
Okay. Tanisha, what you think?
I think it's gonna come down to the GM making the right pick at quarterback. They got to get a quarterback in there. I know they're not sticking with what they had. So if Adam Peters can make a good the right pick at quarterback, then I mean, we know that Dan Quinn has changed what the Dallas Cowboys defense looked like. I mean, that last game is not reflective of how good the defense has been under him. So I feel like if Adams can get the quarterback right, it might turn out all right. Now, do I think Eric Bieniemy would have been good? Yeah, I think he would have been. It would have been nice for him to get his shot. But if he stays offensive coordinator, I mean, it may work out just perfect. It's going to rely on them getting a quarterback though. Without a quarterback, it's for naught.
Okay. All right. And something that popped up late today was the fact that now Ron Rivera is being interviewed for the defensive coordinator position for the Dallas Cowboys. I found it to be very interesting, given what that defense looked like. But I know he wasn't the guy, but that's interesting. All right. Harbaugh with the Chargers. I'm going to start with you this time, Pat.
I think it was a great choice. It's the guy that is going to bring a lot of buzz to that area. You're competing with the Lakers and the Clippers and all those good teams that they have over there, and he's a guy that's going to raise some eyebrows. Is going to get a lot of attendance, and he's not a defensive coach. He's not an offensive coach. He's a coach, and then coming off of winning a national title, that buzz is still around him. And he felt like he had some unfinished business here in the NFL that he wanted to try to achieve. And I think it's going to elevate Justin Herbert's game a lot. So I think that could be very, very good. The only bad part about it, he's just in a tough division. So we'll just have to see how that works out.
Okay. Tanisha?
I personally think it's a good. I mean, I agree with Pat. It's a great choice, and he has pieces around him. I mean, you got Khalil Mack, you got Bosa. I mean, you already got Keenan Allen. I mean, they were riddled with injuries this year, but and that's why I don't think that this year was really fair for the other head coach because that team was just riddled with injuries. I mean, Mike can't stay healthy. Keenan Allen was not healthy, but they have pieces around them and I'm sure he's going to come in, make a few little changes, and they're going to be extremely competitive because we know they already got their franchise quarterback.
Yep.
So yeah, I think it's a great, and he's won at every level. I mean, he's won. He took 49ers to the Super Bowl. He just won the championship. I mean, I don't expect him to get in here and start doing stuff out of character. I think he's
Okay.
a winner, and that team's gonna elevate because of that. They may win 11 games this year coming up.
Darren?
I think it was a good hire. I don't think it's going to make a lot of difference, especially on the defense side of football. I think that's the part he needs to show up the most there. As Pat said, they're in a tough division, so I think they were like 30-1 odds to win the Super Bowl. My thing is win the division first, and they got to do that. And I don't see that for happening anytime soon. Just because to go from what was it 5-12 to division winners, or I think someone mentioned 11 wins. I think that's a steep hill to climb. I think it's going to take a little bit longer than 1 or 2 seasons to turn their franchise around. Because while they did get a good signing in the head coach, other teams are getting better as well. So.
Okay. Let's stay in that division. And I'm gonna start with you, Tanisha. Antonio Pierce for the Raiders.
I'm gonna go out on a limb and say he's a perfect fit for the Raiders because he's got that culture. He seems to be that the players rallied around. I mean, you had players saying that they wanted to request trades if they didn't hire him as a head coach. So he went in there, he did something in that locker room.
Okay.
He gained the respect. He played hard when he was a player. So I think he's a player's guy, and I don't think any other team would have hired him. I don't think any other team would have had him on their radar. But it is fair to say that he did something in that organization. They were playing with a different type of grit. Smoking cigars and having a great time. So he may just be the perfect fit for that team. We'll see. We'll see how it is. But he did a really good job with the few games that he had control of him. I didn't agree with benching Garoppolo and keeping Garoppolo on the bench, but we'll see how that turns out.
All right. Pat, you flipped your hat up a little bit. Go ahead. What you got?
Well, I think he earned the hire. He took that team over and did some good things. They beat a good team. Hell, they beat the Chiefs on Christmas. I think he's
Damn sure did.
guy that has them very, very motivated. I saw news today, a little later, that they hired Cliff Kingsbury as the offensive coordinator, and everybody
Yep.
knows Cliff. Cliff is my guy. He's always been my guy. I follow him everywhere he go, and I know he's a hell of an offensive coordinator. They got a bad rap there in Arizona because his quarterback was a little difficult. But I think that if they can, once again, if they can get another quarterback in there, a younger guy,
Mm-hmm.
which in Cliff's system, I think he could be good. The defensive side seems to be okay. Crosby and them boys doing their thing on their side of the ball. So, but once again, like we just said earlier, they're in a tough division.
Mm-hmm.
They're in a very tough division. So, when you're in that division, more than likely you're playing for a wild card spot. So, can you get enough wins to earn that spot is going to be the big determining factor. But I think he definitely earned the hire, and I'm glad to see he got a chance to be the head coach.
Cool. Darren.
No, I agree with everything that everyone has said thus far. He earned it. They didn't want nobody else, and you could just tell. He grew up a Raiders fan and grew up in that culture. So the fact that he was already on staff and he was right there, right time, right place when they fired Josh McDaniels. I think it's a perfect fit for him. Just seeing him and talking to him, you can tell he's a Raider, and just for me, they'll just like any team in this division and in the league, you got to have a good quarterback. I know they went with a rookie for the remaining of the season last year. I think now if that's going to be the guy that you roll with, so be it. I don't know if they
Can't
look
be
at
it.
it. Yeah. So but I don't know if they look to bring a veteran in or draft one, or try to draft a franchise quarterback in this upcoming draft. But once you can hit on that, and Kingsbury, I think he'll be pretty good depending on the quarterback that they decide to go with and everything. I mean, look, you got a stud running back, and you got a stud wide receiver, and you got a couple good wide receivers. You got a tight end out there, so they have all the requisite pieces that you need. Just got to put all together.
Okay, and I'm agree. I agree with all of you. I think he's the pick, and I think the best part of him being the pick, he got that Giants blood in him.
Hey, you would say that.
Of
I
course,
know.
how could I not? How could I
Mhm.
not? He helped us win.
Don't you know Linda
Super Bowl.
bleed light blue?
There you go again
He
with the
been
light blue.
bleeding for a long time.
I know they just
You
came up
bleed
with that.
light
We,
blue.
we bleeding bad for the last 10 years. We've been bleeding
Yeah.
real bad, but we ain't gonna talk about that right now. That's another episode. All right, let me go over to Mike. What's his name? Mike McDonald. Mike McDonald went to the Seahawks
Yeah, from the Ravens.
from the Ravens.
Never heard of him.
Yeah, I'm
I,
with
I,
I'm with
I
Pat.
know the hire. I know the hire, but I mean, I never heard of him. He's what is he? 37, 36, 37 years old. Maybe they seen something I didn't see. The Ravens did do a good job against us the second half, but I think there was a situation where Patrick wasn't going to put the ball in harm's way, and they just kind of, they had a two-score lead. I think if the game would have ever got down to a one-score lead, then we'd open it back up a little more. But don't know a lot about the guy, but if they like it, I love it. They're I mean, I really don't have a lot to say about it because
Okay.
I don't know that guy. I don't know him. I don't know the Canales guy. The other guys that got hired. So I really can't say definitive whether it's a good hire or a bad hire or nothing because I really had never heard of the guy until they hired him.
Okay.
Mm.
Fair enough. Y'all got something to add to that, Tanisha?
I
Darren?
do not. I
Okay.
do not.
Okay. I think the other person that that stuck out to me that Raheem Morris. I know we know who he is.
Mm-hmm.
So Atlanta, you think that's a good pick for Atlanta?
Yes.
Okay. Go ahead.
Oh no, I just think it is. I just think
You said
Atlanta.
yes.
You said yes, like
You
Well,
said
no,
yes.
I just think it being in Atlanta, I mean it's considered Wakanda. I think I think one he used to play. I think he used to play, and he used to coach there before, I believe. And so I just think that the city, the fan base will rally around them. I mean, obviously, I think they hired a offensive coordinator as well recently, if not today. And if they decide on whether to try to get Kirk Cousins or maybe Justin Fields, or draft a quarterback
Justin
in this
Fields.
year's draft. I mean, I mean, they have the pieces in place. They got a they got a good head coach, and they're in a winnable division that they could easily win next season.
So wait a minute. You say Justin Fields. Justin Fields
Yeah, that
is.
would be a trade. Yeah, if they traded
Yeah,
You
Justin
think they're
Fields.
gonna trade for him?
Well, I mean, it depends on if they feel like that Caleb Williams would come there. If Caleb Williams is saying that he would come there, yeah, I think in a drop of a hat they would trade Justin Fields. Even though that Justin's been there a couple years with that head coach, but it's hard to pass on two quarterbacks when your quarterback is struggling a little bit. When you've had a chance to pick first the last couple of years, and if they did pass on him and things didn't go right, well, that guy knows his job is done. So I mean, it's kind of hard. It's going to be a lot of people get fired if they pass on him and things don't work out right this year.
Mm,
Okay.
okay.
Interesting. We got Gerard Mayo, New England Patriots. Any comments on him?
Well, I
nope.
saw.
Homegrown
I'm
guy.
I'm glad he got hired, and I'm glad he acknowledged that that race is a factor up there because a lot of coaches won't do something like that in this position. So
Yeah, homegrown guy. I mean, another guy that you know whenever you have these guys that have never coached, that have never been head coaches before, you're never not sure of how it's going to turn out. But he's a hometown guy. I think he's paid his dues, and now he's getting a chance to, to run his own show. Only bad thing about it to me is that you're following a legend, even though the legend had a bad few years, since Brady has left. It's going to be tough on him. They're going to have a high expectancy of him, and I don't know if he has a quarterback there yet to make that thing work. I don't know if they're going to draft a quarterback or whatever, but it's kind of a tough position to be in when you're following a legend. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
But
I
shout out.
saw.
Look, I was gonna say, I'm sorry. I was gonna say shout out to Bill Belichick, but also Robert Kraft for having the replacement in place to where they had already drafted up a contract last season where they didn't let him go coach somewhere else. So once Belichick was to ever, once he left, they were gonna move him right in, which is what they did. So shout out to them for having the foresight to do something like that.
Well, I was watching the Pat McAfee show, and McAfee and Tom Brady was on there, and Tom Brady said that it was a great hire, and he thought it was the best because it was a smooth transition. He figured it would be a smooth transition. So if Tom Brady think the dude is all right, I think he all right too.
Okay.
I mean, Tom ought to know. He was his teammate. So if Tom say he knows the system and it's good for the Patriots, I got to roll with it.
Okay.
I don't know much else about him, but Tom didn't seem to think it was a bad idea at all. So
okay. So the Tennessee Titans, they got the offensive coordinator from the Bengals, Brian Callahan.
all I know about him is he said that he planned on fixing the number one pick of the draft last year. So he gonna work out those kinks.
The number one
Bryce.
Pick of the draft last year.
No, that's
Bryce.
not him. I'm
Will
talking about
Levis.
Titans. I'm talking about Titans.
Oh, the Titans. Oh shit, my
Yeah.
bad. Go ahead.
I didn't
Okay,
even say the
Panthers.
number
I'm
one pick
thinking
of the
Panthers.
draft last year was
You
a guy
Bryce.
from Carolina, but
Yeah.
Levis is a good quarterback. I mean,
You like Levis?
if he can make him,
My
move
bad.
something like Burrow did, and get on that trajectory, that may be a good thing. But another guy that is not a lot known about him. They ain't no Derrick Henry next year. So they got a lot of holes they got to fill. So I think they're putting him in and they're going to give him a little leeway. So we'll see how it goes.
I don't know why they got rid of Vrabel, but I you said Levis, and I can't think of his name, so you're gonna give it to me. The
Malik.
one that they
Malik, the second one.
Malik
he's
Willis.
just done. He just back up. You don't
Well,
think he got a chance, or he can go in there and fight for it?
They seem to be sold on
I
Levis.
imagine it'd be an open competition in camp, but I would say right now that Levis has the
Upper hand.
lead. He's in the lead. So, if Malik can come in there and turn some heads, you never know. I mean, it's going to be a new system now. It's going to be a new offense. So, maybe it's something that hits his eye and he gets a spark and go. But Levis seemed to do a pretty good job the last few games that they played, and I would think he would be the leader in the clubhouse.
Okay.
He seemed to have a good connection with DeAndre Hopkins, but I don't know. Like it just seemed like he had one game and that was it. That was it. Everybody just had to go to the bench. Nobody had a chance. Like am I lying? He had like
Was it
four
Monday or
touchdowns.
Thursday
He
night
had
game?
like a 4-touchdown
He
game.
did have that crazy
Nobody
game,
else
and then
had-
after that, he kind of.
That's what I'm saying. He kind of trickled
But
down.
they struggled.
just
They
act
struggled
like
as a team.
4 is good enough. This
Yeah.
4 is more than the others had all together. We're not rolling with it anymore.
Yeah, that
So he's the
4 touchdown
guy.
game start messing up everybody's slips.
Right.
Yeah, he
I don't
crazy.
know. Like
Yeah.
it just felt like after that it was just like everybody else didn't have a chance. And I watched some couple games and I will say this though, I saw him get into it with Hopkins, like he bucked up, so he definitely believed in himself and he realized that he's the quarterback. So I don't think it's a shortage of confidence over there.
No.
If nothing else.
It was. I mean, he had to build that confidence back up because draft night was looking a little crazy for him. So
Oh.
yeah, he's come a long way. So it's
Didn't he
like,
lose his
wow.
girl?
Huh?
It bees that way sometimes.
Wow.
It does be.
I was asking, didn't he lose his girl after the draft? Didn't
Yeah, I
she
think
become
all
his
of that
friend?
fell apart.
He left the green room. I know that.
Damn.
You ain't the first or the
She went
last.
into the black hole after that, because yeah,
Yeah.
it was
You
like,
ain't the
oh,
first or the last to have
she
that
was
happen.
like
So,
second round.
She
Hell
was
no.
planning on leaving in a limo.
well,
She Ubered out of there. All right, the
Yeah.
last guy we got, right, is Dave Canales. I think I'm saying it right, for the Panthers.
that's
I'm gonna weigh in first on this one. I think the Panthers should have went and got some experience for what they had. I'm still mad that they let Steve Wilkes go, but what do y'all think about the pick?
Nobody wanted to go there.
you don't think anybody wanted to go there?
No, what's that, Pat?
I mean, I don't know nothing.
Okay, all right. And yeah, I'm like, I feel bad for Bryce. Bryce just hanging out there.
Well, he
You
said he was
know,
gonna fix Bryce. That's what I was talking about earlier. I don't know why I was so
is it
stuck on the
Bryce that?
Panthers.
Yeah, is it Bryce that's broke?
Well, we'll find out.
No,
Right.
no, no, no.
We'll
The
find out.
problem is, the problem is kind of like Justin Herbert. Some of these other quarterbacks said, when you're firing coaches and you bringing in a new OC and a new staff every year, I mean, you putting a lot of information in the quarterback's head. I mean, look at Mac Jones in New England. I mean, the first year as a rookie, he leads the team to the playoff. The next year, you bring in Matt Patricia and the special teams guy, and now the man is a shell of himself. I mean,
Damn.
so I mean, you
He
just
said shell of
no
himself, didn't
seriously.
he?
I
Hell,
mean,
he was.
You said
Yeah.
shell of himself, or did he shit on himself?
hey, flip a coin. Both things happen
What did
to
you
him.
say? He said shell of himself or he shit on himself. Is that what you
What?
said?
Yeah.
Hey, yeah. Hey,
I mean, look,
Mac
if you
is
saw the
plotting
game,
his revenge right now.
if you
Mac is
saw the
out there
game,
plotting his revenge. I'm telling you, he
yeah, but
think
if
he
you
been
saw the
done
game,
dirty.
no, but if you saw how Mac Jones played overseas, again, I think it was the coach or somebody, whatever team that they lost to. I mean, Belichick benched him damn near with 2 minutes to go in the ball game with the game on the line. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah.
that don't do
Yeah.
Yeah.
something for your confidence. I
He was
mean,
playing some
Oh no,
Jedi. Yeah, he was playing some Jedi
he looked
mind games with him.
nervous. He looked nervous out there. It was absolutely like you could tell he was shook.
Mm.
I mean,
yeah.
you could tell he was over there. He didn't know where to put the helmet on, put it off to the side. He was hoping that he put him back in, and then Zappy went out there and just faked the down and just let it rip like hell. I'm going either back to the bench or I'm about to be the star.
Yeah, that was some dysfunction going on there.
I was
Yeah.
like, what in the hell going on? And then Belichick was just sitting on the side, like, did we just do that? Did we just? Yeah, you
After
did.
that season, he said, "I can't do this no more. Not with them.
Yeah,
I gotta go."
yeah,
Yeah,
it was
that
a
was
wrap.
enough. That
It
was
was a
enough for
wrap.
him. So, hey, y'all want to take a break? And
No,
then go
I
ahead.
got a question though. Speaking of Bill Belichick, what is the reason that he is not a head coach right now? Because I think when
He don't want to
Vrabel
be.
and Belichick they hit the market, everybody's like, "This is the first opportunity that we've had where we've had these amazing coaches," and I haven't heard either one of their
He's
names
gonna
get
go to a
called.
team that's stacked either Dallas or Philly when they fire their coach in the middle of the season.
Yeah, he didn't. He
That's
didn't
not
want
how that works.
jobs. That's what I'm
Okay.
thinking.
That's how it works. I mean, he's in a sense the game has passed him by. You're dealing with a new generation now. I mean, he was more of a hardcore coach. He had things done his way. He wants control. A lot of owners now that are billionaires that got all this money, they're not going to give that control up. It's like anybody else that got money. They're going to make their own decision. They're going to let somebody else come in and run their bank account. So until he can get with that, then they're going to be in the same situation as the Cowboys. That's why the Cowboys don't win. Jerry Jones wants to be the scout, the head coach, the quarterback, the narrator, everything. And until you relinquish some of that power and let people do what they're supposed to do. I mean, you hire coaches for a reason. You hire, scouts for a reason so they can go out and scout it and make decisions. It can't be the type of player you want every time. And until he realizes that, hey, I'm the head coach, let me go out there and coach and be the head coach, but not be the scout or whatever. I mean, they've been drafting I don't know how many
Horrible.
years, and they've only had one Pro Bowl, and hell, he was a punter. So evidently he doesn't know what he's doing in those circles. So, it's going to be difficult for him to get on. But like Darren said, You get an established team like the Cowboys or the Eagles that got all the pieces in places. It ain't like he forgot how to coach. He knows how to coach. He just ain't got nothing to coach with the decision that he made.
Well, I'm gonna
And
throw
one of
another caveat out there. Is I also think that quiet is kept. People are not a fan. I think we just lost Pat.
Yeah,
Quiet,
he back.
quiet is kept. I don't think that it sit
Can't hear you.
well.
We can see you. We got you
Yeah,
back.
yeah. Quiet is kept. I don't think it
Hello?
said. Yeah, we're good.
we
Quiet is
got you
kept.
back.
Yeah, I don't think it set well
What
with
happened?
the fact that he got rid of Brady, a
Yeah.
person that done that much
Well, did he
for
get
that.
rid of him or did he? Did
Oh
he?
yeah, he
He
got rid
pushed
of
him
him.
out the door.
He
Okay.
pushed his ass out the door, and I don't think that set well. What Brady has done for football? Come on,
Yeah.
I think that left a sour taste in a lot of people's mouths, and the way he did it, almost just making it where he just had to go off and do that, and then for Brady to go over there with Tampa Bay and then win that Super Bowl. I think that still kind of set a bad taste in a lot of people's mouths. It's something you don't do the goat like that.
I agree.
Well, and look, and let me say this because I know as Pat was talking about the control issue, it's easy for me to say because I'm seeing it, and living and working through it. But we see how the Kansas City Chiefs are doing things. Clark Hunt hired. When he brought in Andy Reid, brought in Mark Donovan. Initially, he had John Dorsey, let him go, and then you elevate Brett Veach. But he essentially lets everybody do their job, and he doesn't interfere. He signs the paycheck, signs off on the contracts, but he lets Andy coach. He let Brett Veach, general manager, and he lays and he has Mark Donovan, run the organization, and when you don't have everybody's hand trying to overlap into everybody else's business, then you get what you're seeing right now in Kansas City and how the team has been flourishing. Now, Jerry Jones is someone who is the owner, the president, and the general manager, so it's like he only answers to himself, and so we just got to see how this plays out for him.
Okay. All right, we're gonna take 30 seconds and then we're gonna come back and it's all Super Bowl. We're gonna talk about Super Bowl, our predictions, what we think the keys are, and of course, who we picking. So let's take a quick 30 seconds and we'll be right back. All right, everybody, we are back. We gonna let's jump right in. We're gonna talk about the Super Bowl, right? So we got Super Bowl. What is this? 58. I ain't never been good with my Roman numerals, so I mean we used to do them
Yeah.
in school. I could get up to 10x, and that was it, right? Okay,
Yes,
so
sir.
49ers versus the Chiefs. I know everybody on here is a Chiefs fan. That's what we pulling for.
Whoa. Not a Chiefs fan. I like the players, but I ain't a Chiefs fan. Okay,
Okay,
let's put that
everybody
out there.
except for Darren is a Chiefs fan. All right,
You're
let's
not a
let's
Chiefs fan either. You're a Giants fan.
Giants are my number one team.
He
Giants is
lead
my
like
number
Okay,
one
so
team.
blue.
why are we hearing
Thank you,
But
about the
Pat.
I
Chiefs
like
fan?
Thank you, Pat. Yeah.
I like the Chiefs. I'm gonna root for the Chiefs. I'm not gonna root against the Chiefs, not ever. So let's go. What do we First of all, Pat, I just want to go. I know you've been answering the same question all day long, but I just want to ask it. What does it feel? This is your son. It's your son that's leading this team again, his fourth Super Bowl, and he hasn't hit the ripe old age of 30 yet. What what does that feel like for you? You played at that level. You played at that high level. Let's talk about that.
Well, it's surreal. I mean, you don't see people have this amount of success this early on. Um, I think he's maturing. He's evolving. His game isn't the same as it was when he first came up. He's not taking the chances that he used to take. He's learned how to protect the ball. He's learning how to win. Back in the day, he felt like he had to do everything to win, and now he realizes for the first time in his life, from high school to college to being in the pros, he has a defense now. He has a
Yes.
defense now, and they're playing lights out. And all he has to do is protect the ball and don't put the ball in harm's way and let his defense play. And that's what he's done such a good job of it. When they were dropping the balls earlier in the year and people were saying what they were saying, the whole time I was saying that if once we get to the playoffs, if you catch the ball, then we're going to have a chance to win because the defense is going to keep us in the game. And it's a lot easier to go out there and play and perform when you know you don't have to score 35, 40 points every game to win. You just know you just got to get a little bit more than what the defense is going to give up, and the defense isn't going to give up a lot. So, I mean, it's crazy. It's exciting. I knew if we had once we punched our ticket, we had a chance to be in the spot that we're in right now, and hopefully, on next Sunday they'll go out there and the defense will play like they're playing, and we'll put enough points on the board to be able to get a victory.
Okay. All right. Tanisha, same thing to you. Family. You're watching them grow up, being around them all those years. What's that feeling like?
I mean, that's my nephew, my firstborn nephew. I can't help but to be happy for him. I mean, he's busted his ass, and it's awesome when you see someone live their dream. And I've got to witness it twice now. My brother first, and now my nephew. You know what I mean? Lifelong dreams, and you don't get to see that very often, that a person's dreams come true. So of course, I'm extremely happy for him, and I know that playoff Pat is on a different level. Playoff Pat is a different beast. And so I never count out what the Chiefs can do during the playoffs. And yeah, I mean, I can't help it. I mean, it almost brings a tear to my eye. I'm so happy for him. I mean, just to think, I mean, he's only been in the league, and look what he's done. Is going to AFC Championship game every year that he started. I mean, you got to wrap your mind around the fact that we're looking at greatness in a different way. I mean, people don't like to think about it that way, but let's talk about it. There are people who never get to the AFC Championship game, and he's never not been.
That's true.
Think about that.
Yeah, that's true. That's a true, fair
So
statement.
yeah,
Darren,
I love him. I
okay.
love
Darren,
everything
you
about
cover
him.
them. You cover them. So you looking at it from a different perspective, Mister. I'm not a fan. Go ahead.
I mean, okay, well that part is true. I'm not, but I will say this, man. I owe Pat a lot because growing up, and I've been covering the Chiefs for 30 years now. Since I was a sophomore in high school, and I could never get credentials to the Super Bowl to cover it, throughout my time here. But the moment Pat came and was in the AFC Championship game, I've been at the last six of them because of him. So so I owe a debt of gratitude to him. So I'm always going to be loyal to him because I enjoy my trips to the Super Bowl. I mean, I know Pops does too. So so going, like, every year people are like, oh no, you a homer. I'm like, no, I ain't really a homer, but when you see a team and you're at the practice and you're talking to them in the locker room, and so you get a chance to kind of know them off the field, stuff like that. You you get a chance to take a measure of these men and how they are. And being from the street myself, you can tell real from the fake. And so when people ask me why I'm so confident and why I pick them to go, at the beginning of the season, and I don't ever waver, I'm like, well, because I see these cats, I talk to these cats on a daily basis to where it's like, I don't have any reason not to. Yes, players, MVS and a few others had the drops issue, but when you talk to them in the locker room, off camera, I mean, you can kind of get a little bit more more honest conversation from there you can when turn the camera on. So I never lost confidence in what they can do. And like Big Pat said, once the playoffs start, I mean, look, I mean, it's a totally different field. And with the
Hmm.
experience and what they had last year, everybody coming back, I mean, just that experience alone, you can't buy that because
Right.
they've been in all types of situations to where they can overcome any type of adversity, and they've been able to do that so far. And we've always said that if Pat had a defense in 2018, they scored 51 points against the Los Angeles Rams and gave up 54. So you think about if that team doesn't go off sides against, D4 doesn't line up off sides, and Pat could be playing in his and of course the second half collapse. They literally could be playing in 6 Super Bowls in a row.
Yeah.
And so you look at that, but so like it's a hell of a run. I don't take it for granted. As someone who covers the team, I know they don't. And the good thing that I do love, and I know you probably think I'm going on, but the good thing that I love about it is that when people talk about how much pressure is on Lamar, they're just thinking about it from a micro sense. I look at it from a macro sense because everybody's trying to compare these quarterbacks to Mahomes and try to build some kind of fake rivalry against Mahomes. Mahomes is being judged against Tom Brady, so it to me is more pressure on Mahomes each and every year because this is what fourth Super Bowl and hopefully for him his third win. But his magic number is 7. Well, if he loses in the playoffs, that just pushes back, his time frame and trying to catch up and trying to catch up with with Tom Brady. So the fact that he's able to get here and continue to get to this point is pretty good.
Okay. All right. So let's talk about the 49ers, right? We got Brock Purdy. So
Purdy.
I'm hearing, Brock Purdy is a silent assassin. That seems to be what's going around now, that he's a silent assassin and that Brock Purdy is not getting the credit that he deserves for what he's done in the time that he's been on the field. Shanahan had never had any comeback wins like that. Now he's got 2, thanks to Purdy.
yeah, he was used to comeback losses. Is that
Yeah.
what they call them? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah. But I think Brock Purdy has a silent confidence about him. And I think that it's gonna be a good game. I like that he the moment doesn't seem too big for him, clearly. Because he's come back in 2 games where he's been down. But we'll see. I'm going with the Chiefs, so we'll see how that works
Of
out.
course. Pat, what's your thoughts on Purdy?
I think Purdy's pretty solid, man. He's not going to open your eyes. He's not going to do a lot of spectacular plays, but I think he's a solid quarterback. He reminds me a lot of a Kirk Cousins like type of quarterback. A guy that knows where the ball's supposed to go and he tries to get it out there. Now I was a little surprised last week with the running ability that he displayed, and I think if he can do that, then that'll take him up another level. But he runs the system like it's supposed to be run. Everybody say, "Well, you're a game manager." Well, I hope they're all game managers.
Right.
You want to manage the game. You don't want to make mistakes. But he's showing some mettle, man. He like I said, he's come back the last 2 games when he played horrible in the first half, and then to turn it around and not remember that. As a baseball player, that's something we have to do every day, and he's fortunate he gets a week in between or a half in between to kind of collect himself and get back going. But man, I ain't mad at him. I thought he had a hell of a year. I thought he played some solid quarterback in the playoffs. Hell, he had him in the NFC Championship last year. He got him back again. So, it's hard to knock a man that wins. That's what the name of the game is to win the game, and he's done a great job of doing that.
Agreed.
Absolutely.
And I will tell you my score. I will tell you my score for the prediction, which is going to shock the shit out of all of y'all. But I got us winning 31-17.
Okay. Okay. All right.
I laugh. I'm laughing because that was my exact score from the red hour that we did our show on Monday for Chiefs and 49ers. But really, just to echo what Pat said about Purdy, he's being asked to do his job. And it's kind of hard to commend somebody for doing what they're supposed to be doing. But the thing that Silky said that kind of caught me by surprise was his running ability, and he did something that Lamar Jackson should have been doing last week against the Chiefs, which is running the football. And and the thing that Purdy has shown instinctively is that he'll look at his reads, and if something ain't there, he'll take off. And so that's something that when the Chiefs play him, that's something that they have to do. And the reason why I got the same score as Pat is, and I've said on my shows that if you're going to get up on the Chiefs, you have to do it in the first half because the team, the defense has not been doing anything past, has not been giving them more than 7 points in the second half of a ball game. So if you're going to score against the Chiefs, you better do it in the first half.
Okay. I mean, of course, I'm going with the Chiefs too. I'm wondering, and this is a question anybody can answer. Jump in there. McCaffrey's been having his way. So the defense that the Chiefs have, you think I believe they can stop that and change that. Not gonna have, and they're saying in Spags we trust. Y'all feel comfortable with that?
Well, I mean, McCaffrey was there last year when we stumped the dog shit out of him. So
Sure did.
I mean,
Sure was.
he was there, and that was a beat down there in Santa Clara. So I'm not so much worried about that. I mean, the guys are playing solid defense. The guy that worries me on their team is of course Debo.
Okay.
Yep.
He can be explosive and hard to tackle, and he lines up in so many spots and plays so many positions. He could be a guy that could be tough, but the way our defense is playing right now, it pretty much eliminates the passing game, which is good because Snead is a bad boy, McDuff is a bad boy, Reed's playing his ass off too. So, and then Drew Tranquil, I mean, he played outstanding in spite of Willie Gay. Kaloftis has been a stud all year, so I think defensively we'll be able to hold them down. Now it's just a matter of us going offensively, us catching the ball. There will be added attention on Kelsey, but Kelsey don't run the right routes anyway. So it's hard to cover a guy that just does what he wants to do. And luckily, him and Pat have that bond where they know what each other's going to do. So that makes it hard for any defense to cover. So I feel we'll be okay. And that boy Rasheed Rice from SMU, from here, I mean, he's getting better and better every week. And then you got MPS catching the ball now. So, we'll see what happens.
Okay.
And look,
Pat, Darren, you may notice who filled in for a minute when he was out during the suspension.
You knew my question. That was my question. Whoever he missed how many games? 6, right?
He missed 6 games.
He missed the first 6 games of the season.
And what was their record through the first 6 games? Do you remember?
5-1.
5-1.
Okay.
Yeah, they had just lost.
I just
the first
can't remember who it was.
I'm not shit dude either. I feel bad that he's not gonna be able to play in the Super Bowl, but it's not like his loss is like they had what was it? I forgot how many years ago when Pat was losing everybody on his offensive line. It's not like that.
Yeah, he was the one that strip sacked Lamar though. He did strip sack Lamar.
It was Derek Nottie along with Mike Dana.
Yeah.
Who was
and Nottie's hurt, right? He's been out the last couple of games.
Well, they got what, another week and a half, 10 days, whatever we're looking at.
Yeah,
right? We get some people help because I know Willie Gay had a neck injury, too. But
when you look at but you talked about the game last year. I know Pat and I were there for the when the Chiefs pretty much doubled up San Francisco. They had just acquired Christian McCaffrey, but they were at full strength. I mean, McCaffrey, you had Brandon Ayuk, you had Debo, you had Trent Williams, and Kansas City went into their home and beat them 44-23. So, not to say it'll be the same type of result, but the fact that you kind of know what you did last year, and obviously, again, you got the defense playing in the way they're doing, the way that they are, and L'Jarius Sneed. And look, and I think this could be a big game for Sneed because at the highest level, you're letting your play dictate your paycheck in the off season. And the fact that you were a Pro Bowl snub, you were an All Pro snub. No receiver this season has gotten 100 yards on you that you've manned up on. So, so I mean, I just like the fact that the way that the defense is playing and against this type of team, this is going to be a good show for Chiefs fans out there.
Okay. All right. So Pat, we got your prediction 31-17. Darren, your prediction. Yep,
Yeah,
31-17. What
31-17.
you got, Tanisha?
I didn't really think about a score, but I got this. The
Oh,
Chiefs.
nervous Nancy don't know what to predict. She been
all
She
week.
been texting me the last 3 weeks, telling me, what I think, and I tell her, and she, well, I don't know. So that's old nervous Nancy. So she probably got the score tied, and then somebody.
Man, I ain't
Tanisha, you ain't got nothing.
Man, I
We
ain't
still
got
trying to
time
get
for
her
that.
answer from week 1. Remember? We
Yeah.
said we would get back with her at the end of the
Yeah,
season.
don't even worry about it.
We
Don't
still
even worry.
trying to get
Chiefs
her answer
win.
from.
I just got the Chiefs winning. Hell, you can make the score up any way you want it to be, but I
Okay.
got the Chiefs winning.
There you go.
Thank
There
you,
you
Pat.
go.
Now, I do have a question because I know we were on the first episode of the season when we had our Super Bowl predictions. I know me and Pat had the Chiefs winning, and look, I think we might have had them going up against the Cowboys, but I know our Super Bowl winners were the Chiefs. What were you two ladies?
I had Detroit playing against the Chiefs.
I can't
That's
remember.
bullshit.
Exactly.
That's
Come on.
bullshit.
No, I had the Chiefs. You ain't gonna tell me I ain't picked Detroit. Y'all laughed at me when I said Detroit.
There's no way you picked Detroit before the season started. There's no chance in hell.
I'm gonna get the film.
You said Philly.
I ain't say no Philly because I ain't a Philly fan. I said Detroit. I'm gonna find it.
You ain't gotta be a fan of pick 'em.
Fan.
I'm gonna put, but I like Detroit. They should be playing.
To go to the Super Bowl.
I like the Giants.
I think
I said Detroit before the season started to go to Super Bowl.
Yes.
I said rematch.
Bullshit.
We said bullshit.
I'm the one that said
I didn't have Detroit. I don't even remember who I had going to the Super Bowl. I had Detroit going to the NFC Championship game. Didn't know what they was going to do. They lost. But no, or as the season went on, I actually was saying that it would be the 49ers. I really thought 49ers Ravens.
That
And
sounds a little better.
Yeah, no, I thought 40. That was
sounds more
later
realistic.
on. That was later on in the
Ain't
season.
nobody picked
But
Detroit.
I still said never count the Chiefs out. And we had this discussion, earlier. I truly had concerns about them because couldn't nobody catch a damn ball. So I was like, if they don't pull this shit together, that's why I was favoring the Ravens because they were going here, and here. I was never like a Miami.
Well, we didn't know they couldn't catch a ball before the season started.
Hey, Patrick.
I didn't say before the season. I said this was middle of the season. I said I honestly don't remember who. I would have to go back because I'd be lying if I said it. I don't remember who I picked going to the Super Bowl.
I picked
the
I know what the Chiefs.
I know it wasn't Detroit. I know that.
I know. I was talking shit. I was messing with you.
Hey, but Patrick, when you see this, just know me and your dad, we were ride or die from the very beginning.
Oh yeah,
damn.
All in.
Oh yeah. I mean, no doubt. I said some. I might have said some crazy shit like I know I ain't say the Giants, but I can't remember who I said. I honestly don't remember, but I know it wasn't. It wasn't neither one of them.
I thought it was gonna be a repeat.
You did. Tanisha said it was gonna be a repeat,
which I was damn wrong.
It has been great to be in your presence. I'm going to take my tired black ass to sleep.
Yeah, because you've been talking to everybody today. We appreciate you coming on.
Absolutely.
Once again, it was great to be on here with y'all. And D, I'll see you next week up in Vegas.
All right.
Yes, sir. Safe travels to you.
All right.
Peace, Pat.
Have a good one.
So, Darren, anything before you pop out? Because me and Tanisha gonna close it out. You got anything before you pop out?
Nah, I just wish you ladies were joining me in Vegas on Radio Row, man. I keep going every year. Y'all keep telling me y'all gonna come, and then I don't ever see it. Y'all leave me hanging out to dry.
Well,
do a show with us.
Do a show with us while you out there.
I mean, look, y'all the ones that's hard to catch up with. I can do all the national shows, but when I try to contact my friends to do a show,
there you go.
I get y'all voicemail. I talk about, I'm at work right now. Okay, well, okay, cool.
We love you.
Okay.
Well,
we love you. Have a blast out there. Anybody we can send your way, we sending your way. But yeah.
Oh, because trust and believe, I'm gonna be calling you Sunday to play some bets for me because I can't play bets in Vegas.
All right.
Oh,
all
right.
I'm
getting ready.
Linda,
I got
you
to
can take care of it.
And hold on, and Tanisha, your ass been answering the phone so we can talk about these picks that we're gonna be doing.
Hey, no problem whatsoever. I'm gonna do what I need to do this week. I gotta do a little studying and everything. It's my last chance, so I gotta win big, baby.
Yeah, we gotta hit FanDuel upside the head.
All right, go ahead. Go ahead and pack.
I'm a DraftKings shit.
Oh yeah, I got a lot of shit to
go
pack.
ahead,
So.
yeah, go ahead and pack.
Go ahead and get
suits up.
on up out of here.
All right.
Thank you,
Thank you,
ladies.
Darren.
Take
Always a
care.
pleasure.
Love y'all.
All right.
Yeah.
So Tanisha, what you
Yes.
got here for your closing thoughts?
Well, before we hit the closing thoughts, you want to talk about what these awards coming up, these NFL awards. You don't wanna...
It's a whole lot of them to go through. You know, all the people that's on there. We've been on here for an hour. We can. I mean, we got time next week. Let's talk about them next week.
All right.
Let's push it up to next week because the show is not till when? Thursday.
Yeah, fair enough.
I think the honor show is Thursday, so let's do that on Thursday. You know, it's late for me where I am.
Oh yeah, my bad. I forgot. I'm in the great state of Texas, baby.
I'm trying to get under the bed. All y'all on Central Time. I've been up with Pat, CNN, ESPN, everybody since 7 o'clock this morning.
Yeah, 7.
Yeah, great day. So
started early.
Yeah, I know he's tired, so I appreciate him coming on the show because he's been talking to everybody all day. What you got? What you got for the closing thoughts?
I mean, you know, nothing crazy has been going on here. Too late. Of late, too bad for me. I'm just happy to be here. Everything is good. I'm just hoping everything goes well with the Super Bowl and none of the players get hurt or anything. And it's a good game for the fans. That's pretty much it. That's it. I'm just looking forward to a great Super Bowl and a great Super Bowl party.
Yeah, I'm a little different. Nothing about sports. My prayers go out to the families of those service members that we've lost this past week.
Ooh.
It's terrible to lose anybody, but anybody out there fighting for their country, I've been there. Your family wants you to come home, and that's their biggest fear, to hear something or have that person knock on that door with that flag. So my heart goes out to those families, my prayers to those families, and for their healing, and condolences to all of them. But and I'm not trying to shine on whatever you said. I know it's just
no, absolutely.
We serve, right? We serve. So we know what that's like. That's the one thing your family wants, is for you to come home. So
absolutely. My heart goes out to them.
Yep. So until next time, people, please be kind, be blessed. It's free.
Peace.
And peace. Thank you for tuning in to Two Gems and a Mic. Be sure to subscribe and follow. Until next time, remember, be kind, be blessed. Peace.